Congratulations to Carl Blacknado for nailing the Super Bowl 56 winner this year. Congratulations, mate. You and I don't always call it or whatever, but congratulations for putting yourself out there, for putting out the videos, and you did it. And you have my respect or whatever. You attacked me or whatever. You called me out or whatever in the past or whatever. You and I don't always call it. You and I don't always see eye to eye or whatever, but you get my respect. You called it this year, and you get all the credit out there. And it makes a lot of sense. Uh, Go King LeBron will win the championship. I guess we don't agree on the NBA, but it's all good. I guess we'll just get one of the other LA teams to win this year in 2022. But uh, too bad that the emotional attachment to these teams is a big curse, and it's time to leave them. It's time to leave the Cardinals. It's time to leave this team. It's time to leave it. LA's real team could not win the Super Bowl when they're trying to build a fan base. I know exactly why I made a mistake this year. They're trying to build a fan base. So looking back at it, it didn't make sense. Can't stand the fact that the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl, but the script is in for them, and you did it. And it's all coded for the Rams to win, by the way, based on the Raiders. The Raiders are not going to win the Super Bowl 38 years later, but rather an LA team was going to win 38 years later. It makes all the sense in the world. An LA team was going to win 38 years later. And that's all good. You're going to lean the direction towards LA. And it was either Raiders or Rams. It was. There's one very important detail. LA Raiders. That is when the Raiders win again. They last won the Super Bowl as the LA Raiders. The Raider Nation, we will celebrate. It's all good, man. We got this. We got this. This is a process. This is trial and error. This is reflection. This is seeing what works. This is seeing what doesn't work. The Green Bay Packers, we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. There was going to be no sending out for Aaron Rodgers this year. Dallas Cowboys, we're not going to win until a couple of years. These are positives. You must trust the initial projection. The projection had the Bengals winning Super Bowl 62. That is great news. Matthew Stafford does have gematria of 62. This is fantastic news for the future. We call it 6-7 years down the line. We'll call the Packers Super Bowl. Some 4 years down the road, we will call the Cowboys Super Bowl 7 years down the road. It's all about the big picture. It's all about calling the scripted league years in advance, and we will win. We will call the scripted league years before it happens. There is no flipping of the script. The flipping of the script doesn't happen. You just have to read it a little bit better. And this year, I just had to read it a little bit better, that we were still experiencing COVID, that they were socially distancing, that they were going to have LA fans in the Super Bowl. I know what I did wrong this year. Crooked man with this mustache, Stan Kroenke. There's no way this guy is getting this Super Bowl. He has already won the Super Bowl. Stan Kroenke, the crooked man with the mustache. The NFL wants to try to build a fan base. The question is, will it work? Will it work that they're going to try to build a fan base? I don't think so. There still is that attachment to the LA Raiders that you just can't get rid of that overnight, even with the Rams Super Bowl. Even if they are in Vegas, even if they are built the dynasty, even if they do build the dynasty in Vegas, these people will still root for the Raiders in Los Angeles. So at the end of the day, will it work? No, it will not. But certainly the NFL is going to try to make it work to try to build a fan base in LA. But it's win now at all costs. And if you win today and you're cap stripped and you don't have the same team, are you going to keep that fan base in LA? It may not work the long term, but they're definitely trying to keep a fan base in Los Angeles. That's definitely what they're trying to do. And that's my biggest takeaway for this year, that the NFL, as far as we can tell, still thinks we are in the pandemic. And so they're going to try to socially distance people. And that's the biggest reason why we whiffed on this year. There's a riddle with the Packers. In the end of the COVID pandemic, from the eyes of the elite, pack your bags and go off on a vacation to the Super Bowl. That is the key riddle for the Packers for Super Bowl 57. Go pack your bags, 2 visiting teams at the Super Bowl. That is the key riddle for the Packers. That is the key COVID riddle for the Packers. We know when the Raiders will win again. Raiders having Gematria 38 means an LA team is going to win 38 years later. LA Raiders having Gematria 42 means that the Raiders win again 42 years after they won as the LA Raiders. It's a matter of interpretation. That an LA team wins 38 years later since the Raiders won. That's why we see the Rams winning. That's the significance of the Raiders having Gematria 38. So the Rams winning the Super Bowl this year makes all the sense in the world. It's just a matter of how you interpret the Gematria. So the fact is, you got to go with the LA team to win the Super Bowl this year. It's a matter of interpretation. Raiders don't win 38 years later, and LA team wins 38 years later. But LA Raiders having Gematria 42 means they do win 42 years later. We see how this synced up with the hiring of Josh McDaniels, that McDaniels did begin his Broncos coaching career beginning 6-0. And already I predicted the Raiders to win Super Bowl 60. If McDaniels starts 6-0, that's going to be linked with McDaniels ushering the Raiders dynasty by winning Super Bowl 60. And how this is already linked with my Raiders Cowboys Super Bowl prediction is the fact that he's 45 years of age right now, that New England, the Cowboys has Gematria 45. The last Raiders quarterback to win Super Bowl MVP was at New Orleans. New Orleans is Gematria 45. And if he's 49 years of age in Super Bowl 60, then that's the Gematria of Dallas. So this is how the hiring of Josh McDaniels is synced up with the LA Raiders winning Super Bowl 60, and the LA Rams win the Super Bowl right now. So Stan the Crooked Man with the mustache and Roger Goodell in the NFL try to build a fan base in LA. Question is, does it work long term? I don't think so. It may not work long term. LA wants to win right away. LA wants to win continuously, year on a yearly basis, and that may not work for the LA Rams. So the fact is, will it work? But definitely the NFL is trying to build a fan base in LA. And so congratulations, Carl Blacknado, you did it. But I must warn you that we win some and we lose some. Are the Warriors going to win the NBA championship? Consider this. They call him the king for a reason. Will the king fail to win a championship after the Rams win? Bro, no way, Carl Blacknado. You got to jump on the GOAT King LeBron. LA Lake Show wagon, Carl Blacknado. You got to jump on GOAT King LeBron James wagon. You got to jump on the GOAT King LeBron wagon. The biggest reason to go with the GOAT King LeBron wagon, Carl Blacknado, is the fact that Michael Jordan is born at Brooklyn. So doesn't it make sense that GOAT King LeBron has to tie Michael Jordan where Michael Jordan is born at? Consider that. Think about your Rams prediction. Think about what would happen for GOAT King LeBron James. GOAT LeBron can become the king of the West when he defeats Stephen Curry. That's what you got to consider right after the Super Bowl, because remember, the Super Bowl is 18 months before GOAT King LeBron can win Game 7 against the Nets. We know there's a Game 7 on Father's Day 6 years later. So my brother Carl, you did it. You did it. You are how many days away? You are 12 days away, or 13 days away since we just reached the new hour of the new day on the West Coast. So congratulations, but this LA Rams Super Bowl is going to lead into GOAT King LeBron winning the 5th ring this year. So that is a warning. That is a warning that I will be right about GOAT King LeBron, but you were right on the LA Rams. This is a warning. You got to go with GOAT King LeBron James here. Michael Jordan and Brooklyn mate. Shaquille O'Neal won his three-peat at his birth site of New Jersey, mate. LeBron can tie Michael Jordan at his birth site, mate. This is how the NBA is Illuminati. So I did not call the Super Bowl. I know exactly what I got wrong, how this leads into the Raiders winning Super Bowl 60. And we must stick with the process. I will stick with the process. The Raiders are the dynasty. The Chiefs failed to win the Super Bowl. I'm glad about that. I'm glad the Raiders are the dynasty. And the Super Bowl 60-61 playlist, I think, is a great playlist because, well, they can be the dynasty with John Gruden or whatnot. It's so hard to predict that John Gruden's going to get ousted the way that he did. And then, Jim Harbaugh could join the Raiders or whatnot. But Jim Harbaugh doesn't join the Raiders. And instead, Mark Davis, the Sly Fox, is bringing the Patriot way over to the Raiders. And this helps Bill Belichick become the GOAT if one of his assistants is able to bring his formula to an elite quarterback, to a franchise that wants to win, to become the next dynasty. This makes Bill Belichick look even better than he is right now, post Brady's 7th Super Bowl, if one of his assistant coaches and his Patriots scouts are able to put together a championship team, because that is all the work of Bill Belichick. So, yep, Raiders having Gematria 38. LA team wins 38 years later. LA Raiders Gematria 42. LA Raiders win the 42. The franchise wins 42 years later.